Make sure we good. They get it. They get it.
Okay, copy.
We're about to be doing some reactions on some freaking body cams, y'all. It was either this or Fallout, and I was like, fuck it, I'll do Fallout in the morning. So we're gonna be doing reactions tonight.
Okay, copy.
When on June 20th, 2018, Cleveland Police Department received reports of several gunshots near Highland Hills, responding officers rushed to the scene, which, unbeknownst to them, slowly unfolded into one of the most tragic cases the city had ever seen.
Get people back.
She shot in the head. They shot my baby. I don't know these kids were shooting.
Get these coppers out of here.
I can't get my boy.
Yeah, why is the audio sound like that right now? It's crazy.
I can't get my boy.
Nobody saw what happened.
The victim of the shooting, Sanaya Nicholson, who was tragically only 9 years old, had been shot in the head while sitting in the back of her mother's car. While EMS also arrived on site, the severity of the circumstances left little room.
Bro, I must say, at least it was in the head because, I mean, it was quick.
For help.
Get it out.
Struggling to breathe.
Come on. They shot my baby. They shot my baby. Now get off of me. Come on, help her, please.
Sanaya Nicholson was rushed to the hospital. However, the injuries proved too severe, and she was pronounced dead that same evening at only 9 years of age. At the scene of the shooting, officers cleared the site and began asking witnesses about the exact sequence of events, trying to understand what led to the brutal killing. What investigators quickly learned was that, shockingly, multiple people were involved in the shooting, and as more evidence was uncovered, officers arrested multiple suspects, including 17-year-old Bruin Harrison and 18-year-old Aaron George, who were brought to the Cleveland Police Department for questioning.
Last week, a 9-year-old girl got killed in our city. And we know that you were involved. We're sort of giving you this opportunity now to sort of come clean, tell us what the motivation was, how you found yourself in that predicament.
Me personally, there's no explaining for me, because my intent wasn't, you feel me, like anything that went on. Now, how I found myself, you feel me, wherever, whenever, it's just cause like,
on June 20th, what are you doing?
what was June 20th?
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday. What time? Probably at work.
Were you with CJ that day? And then
June
other
20th?
two guys? Yeah.
I think so.
Think car.
In a car? I do remember getting in the car.
Aaron George went through the timeline of the day of the shooting, explaining that in the early afternoon, he was picked up by his friend CJ and someone called Devonte, who brought his brother Bruin along, two people Aaron didn't really know at that time.
You know what time of day it is at this time?
Like early, I think probably like 12.
Oh, it's like early afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause we was with each other for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
And where'd you guys go from there?
I mean, we went a couple places, you feel me? Like down the way, King Kenny, we kept on going to the gas station, back and forth to the gas station. We could be walking. I went up there to the court. We hoop in the K. It's a court back there. And then around about like, I want to say like what? Probably not even that late. Probably like 3, 4-ish. We start riding back out. You feel me? Riding back around.
Okay. And where do you go?
We was trying to go to Lorraine. You feel me? But ain't nobody had no gas money. So long story short, we get to riding around. We rode around and we stopped. Like the car shut off on it. Didn't nobody in the car have no more money. You feel me? We had spent it up on weed and miles and shells and stuff. We stopped and the car stopped on Lee and Harvard.
Right as the group arrived at a gas station, they got into an argument, primarily because they had run out of gas and nobody had any money to buy fuel. The group split up, as CJ and the driver, Devonte, went to get some money, leaving both Aaron and Bruin alone. which led to another argument because Aaron didn't want to be left alone with someone he considered a stranger.
I get mad. I get mad at two people. CJ left me to hang with somebody I didn't even know. You feel me? But CJ being CJ, if he your brother, he my brother, you feel me? Because I rock with you.
He should take care of you.
Exactly. We should be rocking with each other. So basically, I'm up there at the gas station, and they just said like, yeah, we finna go and get some money, you feel me, from around the corner at my sister's house. It was just us two. I'm like, bro, I'm just about to stand up here and beg for change.
Us two being, who's the other person?
The dude I didn't know. He was like, bro, we could just walk around and do that. I'm like, all right, bet.
Aaron and Bruin, who had both become increasingly impatient, started going around the street asking strangers for money to get the car running again. During that time, they coincidentally ran into CJ and Devontae, who had just returned with not only no money for fuel, but also even more trouble.
And then out of nowhere, like, they salty. They mad, so I get mad because CJ mad. You feel me? I'm thinking like he just got beat up, you feel me?
Is that what he said or what?
No, he didn't. He just came back like, bro, you feel me? You feel me? Like he just going off, you feel me? So I'm like, bro, what just happened? Hold on. What just happened? So he talking about, yeah, playing crazy, da. So I'm like, bro, I'm about to call my dad. They said you don't have no phone. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm about to walk with y'all until I find a phone so I can call my dad, and I'm about to leave. They like, bro, you ain't gonna ride with me? What you mean you ain't gonna ride with me? They basically saying like, is you gonna fight with me? And I just said, I just said, where they at? Where they at? You feel me? Like,
Aaron claims that although he initially intended to go back home, the group coerced him to stay and look for the other group with whom CJ and the driver had gotten into an argument earlier.
So we get to walking around again. Then we went to, I remember going to the Taco Bell with the dark skinned dude. Then we walked back down the street. Then dudes just get to looking. Dudes just,
where are these dudes at?
On the corner of the street. And I'm walking up, I'm looking at them looking at us, you feel me? So I'm like, bro, who is these? Is these the dudes that you got problems with? They looking at me, like, or they looking at us suspicious, you feel me? Like, I'm thinking they about to get the shoe and they can do whatever.
As Aaron, Bruin, CJ and Devontae, the driver, walked back toward the gas station, they ran into the group with whom they earlier had an altercation, which in turn unfolded into another argument. Interestingly, investigators later learned that around this time in the interrogation, Aaron started to leave out crucial details, such as that before the confrontation, they had been kicked out of a Taco Bell by security, where they had seen some members of the other group inside the restaurant.
So, the dude I didn't know, he pulled something out, you feel me? Like, bro, we ain't worried about that. That's when I noticed, you feel me? That's when I noticed CJ had a gun. So I'm like, bro, I've been with you before we even got with these people. Why wouldn't you tell me you had a gun, bro? I just got out of jail. You feel me? Like, I got a job. If I get caught with you, they already know what's up with me. Because I went down for aggravated robbery. They not playing with that. So he get to talking about, oh yeah, you a bitch, da-da-da. You already know this type of life I get into and all this other shit. We get into that little argument like that. So now they see, the dudes at the corner see me and CJ like we're going back and forth like we about to fight. So they get to laughing. So I turn back around. I'm like, bro, CJ, bro, you feel me? Come on, you feel me? And there's a lot of people out here. It's daylight. I'm basically just telling him like, but don't try to shoot him. You feel me? So he was like, all right, bet, come on. So everybody listening. So long story short, I got $2 in my pocket. I put the $2 in the gas can that he had, like a spare gas can he had in the truck. So I put the $2 in the gas pump, and then I put the gas in there and I got in. Now the dudes was standing right there. He's still mad, but I know CJ. I can calm him down sometimes. You feel me? So I'm like, bro, you feel me? We out. You feel me? I'm about to go wake my dad up. We about to go get some more. You feel me? Like all right, bet. But pull this way. So I'm like, bro, they down there. The dude ain't even listen to me. Okay. The dude that was driving didn't even listen to me.
Is it the same guy that was driving?
That was the same exact one. The dude didn't even listen to me. So that's when everything just started, you feel me, clicking to my mom. But your brother got a gun. If I try to stop you from pulling over here, what to say that he not gonna shoot me?
Okay.
I don't know these people. Only my life was in CJ hands for real.
Okay, go ahead.
So we pulled out the gas station. And he just got the fire.
At approximately 7:15 p.m, the driver, Devontae, followed CJ's instructions and drove onto Lee Road, heading in the same direction where, minutes earlier, they had the confrontation with the other group.
My brother was like, what the fuck is you doing? I was driving. What you mean?
So your brother didn't even know what was going on either.
It just happened so fast.
Although both Aaron and Bruin claimed that this in itself was an unexpected manoeuvre, investigators concluded that the group directly provoked an escalation by first searching for the other group and, upon finding them, getting into another argument, flashing their weapons and leaving, but only for a moment before eventually seeking revenge.
Did he say anything before he shot?
Not to me. I don't even think he said anything to nobody in the car. Only thing I remember is ducking down. The bullet almost went towards my head.
How many times did he shoot, do you know?
I don't know. After two shots, I'm like, but stop! I did like this through the back. My fault. I did like this through the back seat, bro. And that was it. It's like I felt the wind from the shot
Coming at you.
coming at me, and then when I looked over, the window that got busted out, it's a bullet right here, it went past, and I just ducked down. The only time I said something to them after that, I'm like, bro, call my dad, bro. I probably been shot, my adrenaline running.
Detectives concluded that although Bruin also carried a weapon, CJ was the only person in the car who fired at the other group. As the car rolled up on them, more than 24 shots were fired between the groups, with one stray bullet hitting a car parked down the street in front of a gym, where 9-year-old Sanaya Nicholson was inside, waiting for her older brother to be picked up from boxing practice by her mother. In the midst of this, the stray bullet tragically struck Sanaya in the head. At just 9 years of age, she lost her
Must I say, what the does this have to do?
life as a result of the unfortunate circumstances.
I mean, I guess it
So
does.
then after that,
I was
what
just
did
like,
you
bro,
guys
I
do?
thought this
I
was
left.
a whole different.
I left. I told them, I'm like, bro, I'm going to Garfield, bro. Drop me off.
Okay, so they drop you off.
But they don't drop
They
me
don't
off at the
drop
house.
you off.
Yeah, they don't drop me off at my house. They drop me off on Wood Hill, 79th.
Contrary to Aaron's claims that he was simply dropped off, security camera footage captured the group approximately 15 minutes after the shooting, driving up to Holton Avenue, where they agreed to get rid of the car.
Whose idea is it to go to Holton to get rid of the car?
CJ.
CJ's idea. So all four of you guys, your brother, CJ, you, and this other guy, roll down to Holton.
50 minutes later, they were caught again on camera, arriving on the same street, but this time in a different car, to dispose of more evidence.
And then about a 9-year-old girl, bro. And then about a 9-year-old girl, bro.
You see it on the news, didn't you?
I didn't see nothing. That's why I'm trying to tell
You've
you.
been all over the news, all over the media, social.
Social media. I got an Instagram. I never once seen nothing about no 9-year-old girl. Listen, sir. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I really don't know how to feel right now, man. I know my life could be over with. You could be the last person I'm looking at on the outside. Me knowing what I came here for, I already know what I was gonna have to do. I already knew what I was gonna have to tell y'all. But I already know ain't nobody gonna spare me though. It's just I'm gonna go down as another statistic. A dude that ain't the wrong place, wrong time.
You're looking for me to tell you something,
No, not about
Good.
the case. I mean,
and it ain't good for you right now. But what you've done has been good. Because
That's what I'm saying.
we're not changing that charge. That's what you're going to be charged with. Is that charge? Could that charge be changed or amended? They can be if what you say is true and how things played out.
right, that's all I want to know. That could be my last question. Like,
Right.
even if what I do say is true, like, what you think gonna happen? I could still get life. My life is over, man. At 18, though. I would rather die, bro. I would rather die than to spend my life in prison.
children shot dead in our city. These horrific tragedies.
Yeah. Hold up.
Father last
It counts. Many of those
car. News 5's Amanda Van Allen was there moments after the little girl was killed. She spoke with Sanaya's father last night and today talked with her heartbroken mother.
During the court proceedings, all 7 suspects arrested in connection with the shooting were initially indicted on multiple charges, including aggravated murder, attempted murder, felonious assault, and other related counts. Many of those charges were later dropped when it was revealed that the bullet fired by C. Matizia Andrews, or CJ, directly resulted in the death of Sanaya Nicholson. As a result, Aaron J. dropped when it was revealed that the bullet fired by C. Matizia Andrews, or CJ, directly resulted in the death of Sanaya Nicholson. As a result, Aaron, Bruin, and Devontae pleaded guilty to tampering with evidence and are still awaiting sentencing. Dyshawn Bonner, Damaris Perry, and Timothy Green, the individuals from the other group, pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter for their involvement in the shooting. They were sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Losing years of my life, but I can't give them back to Sanaya. If I could, I would.
I'm sorry. Truly sorry. If I could bring her back, I would too.
I spent years blaming myself for not dying in the car. But her dying. They didn't just kill her, they killed the other 2 as well. These 2 are no longer the same children that they were. I'm not the same mother that I was.
C. Matizia Andrews, who was initially charged with murder, reached a plea deal that dismissed the murder and attempted murder counts. In September 2020, C. Matizia Andrews was sentenced to a total of 22 years in prison for involuntary manslaughter and attempted felonious assault for his role in the death of Sanaya Nicholson.
That's crazy. What the Hold up. Let's figure out.
Fugitive Task Force? What the What did I do? What could I have possibly done?
I may occasionally have the violent ideations or whatever.
Our missing person was also involved in those types of fantasies and violent ideations.
Oh, I'm sure we had some right nasty discussions.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to play. I'm sure we had some right nasty discussions.
How did violent ideations?
Oh, I'm sure we had some.
Wait, what the fuck is going on, bruh?
Have the violent ideations or whatever.
Our missing person was also involved in those types of fantasies and violent ideations.
Oh, I'm sure we had some right nasty discussions.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to play. I'm sure we had some right nasty discussions.
How did she say she wanted to die?
So he was like, it wasn't easy. You know, it wasn't like just one and done.
I barely even have interest in tying my wife up at this point because she's been through so much.
On October 13th, 2025, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is contacted for investigative assistance by Interpol regarding a missing woman who had flown from England to the U.S. before vanishing. The truth about what led to her disappearance is far more haunting than anyone expects, leaving investigators with more questions than answers.
I think it took her 2 years to talk him into helping her leave this world.
The following report is based on official police records.
Helping her leave this world.
The following report is based on official police records, and some of the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. 32-year-old Sonia Exelby from Portsmouth, England, had traveled to Florida on October 10th, 2025, and though she booked a return flight on October 12th, she never boarded it. The last known trace of Sonia's whereabouts was a series of charges to her debit card on October 11th. These charges were to the company Silver Wolf's Roadside Assistance, owned by 52-year-old Dwayne Hall. On October's roadside her debit card on October 11th. These charges were to the company Silver Wolf's Roadside Assistance, owned by 52-year-old Dwayne Hall. On October 17th, with Sonia still missing, investigators are eager to speak with Dwayne. Utilizing aerial surveillance, the Marion County Sheriff's Office tracks down his vehicle and relays his information to deputies and agents from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
Everyone unit contact. We got the vehicle. It's I-75 northbound. Just got on. You gotta wait till I tell you, bud.
I thought
you gotta get lined
you
up.
said wait till you called out.
You're good. So good.
Dwayne isn't alone. His wife Ginger is in the passenger seat.
Tell me what this is about. I will. Yeah, I asked her to get my ID on the center console.
You have a search warrant for your vehicle. I knows that this vehicle, with that tag number, there's a search warrant for that vehicle. That being said, I'm happy to give you a free ride with whoever got the search warrant so you can help them and they can explain what the purpose of the search warrant is.
Okay. Number one, we're on the way to go take her up to her thing for those transplant stuff.
Okay.
What the hell is you gonna search here or what?
So that's all the information that I know.
They tell Dwayne that they will transport him so that he can speak to the person who organized the search warrant, and he agrees.
He's gonna go voluntarily up.
I'm
to CID.
Okay.
So if you just want to pat him down, search, make sure he doesn't have any weapons, and then we may have to take the wife as well, so she can arrange for a ride or something to get up to the hospital.
Yeah, okay. She's got to be for a bronchoscopy. She just had a double lung transplant.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Let's
you guys are really like this is tough.
All right, go and face the car for me. I'm just gonna patch down, make sure you ain't got nothing else.
Sorry, babe.
As they're seizing the vehicle, Ginger has been asked to get out as well, but she isn't opposed to getting into the back of the deputy's car with Dwayne.
I don't mind riding in with him in the back.
Trying to think. I don't know a lot about what's going on. Normally we don't. Normally we have everybody separate.
I've seen that for me.
I'm more worried about her.
I know.
Cooperate with you, but
yeah. No, listen. Don't worry about her. We're not gonna put her out any kind of way. Okay, we're gonna figure something out. All right. Just watch your leg, okay?
Fugitive task force? What did I do? What could I have possibly done? Fugitive task force? What is going on? I haven't done anything.
I guess I got big problems.
It won't take long for Dwayne to discover if he does in fact have big problems. As he's transported to speak with investigators, deputies agree to give Ginger a ride to her appointment.
Here? Yeah, right there.
Dwayne is soon joined by an agent from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, also known as the FDLE, and a detective from the Marion County Sheriff's Office.
Hi, Mr. Hall. My name's Rebecca.
Oh,
Thanks. You'll pass? Okay.
Hi, Mr. Hall. Hello.
What's your first name?
As if you don't know. I don't like playing silly.
Okay, well,
I like to be direct. You have my name, or else I wouldn't be here.
How would you like us to call you?
Dwayne is fine.
Dwayne is fine? Okay.
Dwayne, okay, well, I was just going to say because I honestly forgot it, so that's why I called.
Okay, I will accept that.
Though things are off to a somewhat rocky start, they remind Dwayne that since he came in voluntarily to speak with them, he's not being officially detained. While he's appeared bewildered by the situation so far, Dwayne was actually called by authorities twice already and been made aware that his transactions have something to do with a missing persons case.
So what's going on?
So you understand that I do need to just tell you you're right.
If you got to do
It's
my
checking
rights,
a box.
do my rights, okay? Check the box.
It's checking a box.
He's read his rights and Dwayne agrees to speak. He explains that on October 11th, the day of the transactions, a woman called him and told him her car had broken down.
They called at night and they tried to run a card, and my card services kept declining it, so they kept going lower and lower on the amount. And the only thing she was saying that even made me paranoid and thought it was pretty sketchy. It was too quiet in the background for somebody that's broke down. For somebody that's broke down, it was way too quiet in the background. And she kept saying over and over again, I swear there's money on the card. I swear, I swear, I swear. And of course I declined and I didn't go out there.
Records show that over the course of 10 minutes, Dwayne attempted to process 6 transactions for varying amounts, from $100 to $790, all of which were declined. In the same time frame, he ran a second card, and Dwayne was able to complete a transaction for $1,200. Both cards were for United Kingdom banks and belonged to Sonia Exelby, the missing woman. Dwayne, however, claims not to know who the woman was and that he never went out to help her with her vehicle.
Where were you, when you were having this conversation?
I was actually out in the other side of Riddick.
Okay.
I was out out there on a different type of job.
Okay.
I'd gotten hired. Now, I ain't telling you anything about this because I signed an NDA for the client.
Okay.
Okay. But if it comes down to it, and we need that information, and we desperately need that information, I'll break that NDA. But the reason why the NDA was there was because there's a high-profile client that has cars for people like Travolta and that on his property, and doesn't want that all disclosed.
Despite the NDA, Dwayne reveals that the man he was working for was named Harold. He says he worked on a series of vehicles for him Friday night, stayed overnight at an Airbnb, and then worked for Harold all day Saturday, late into the evening. In an EWU exclusive interview, Ginger, Dwayne's wife, describes what he told her about that weekend.
Done a jump start for a customer that had a big garage full of really, really expensive cars, and it was going to be an all-night thing. He was supposed to oil change, battery change, and tire change, like over 50 cars, high-end, super expensive cars. That's what he told me. And so he was going to have to stay overnight to save on gas and all that.
She also shared why she believed Dwayne had been asked to speak with police.
He had told me that somebody had tried to use a stolen credit card to order a jump start from him because he was a roadside assistant, and I thought that's what it was about. He acted stressed, but I thought that was because of the card. The card, he was afraid of getting charged with fraud.
This concern wasn't the only troubling thing that happened that weekend. When it came to Harold paying Dwayne for his mechanic work, something else went awry.
So on that weekend, when these transactions and interactions with this individual were taking place, they disappeared. I didn't delete them.
Okay.
I literally have 3 calls listed for, I think it's Sunday. 3. It's either Saturday or Sunday. There's 3 calls compared to 20, 30 a day that come into my phone.
So did the calls come in and you were having those conversations and it wasn't logged, or you weren't getting calls at all?
Calls were coming in. They vanished. They vanished out of the call log. Text messages, emails, everything. Everything regarding and relating to that service that I did out there vanished. Gone. Like it never happened. And then I went home that Sunday. Or I tried to go home that Sunday. Mm-hmm. But I was being followed.
How so?
I was being tailed.
Dwayne says that as he was driving home, he saw a vehicle following him and decided to go down a back road where he parked to wait them out.
I sat there and I waited for an hour. And they kept making passes on the main road.
While this may seem like a random detail, this specific area where Dwayne describes hiding would eventually be revealed to harbor a dark secret. Already, Dwayne's story has been filled with twists and turns, but he now adds a new element. He says on Friday, before he started the mechanical work, Harold asked him to do something.
But now we get to the worst part of the story that I'm dreading talking about altogether because I have a really bad feeling about it again. Like I said, really bad. This thing went from I'm not paying attention to it to really bad, in my opinion, because of everything that happened. He called me up. I was working in Gainesville, shift ended at 6. He called me up and he said, "Hey, I need you to go pick somebody up from Gainesville Airport."
Okay.
I picked somebody up from Gainesville Airport, female. Tried to make small talk with him. They told me basically, and I'm barely even paraphrasing here, "Shut up, I don't talk to the help."
Regardless of her manners, Dwayne says he drove the woman to Harold's where she got out and into another vehicle. He says he never saw her again. So far, in his version of events, the woman who called because her vehicle broke down and the woman he picked up for Harold are 2 different people. However, investigators know that the cards belong to Sonia and that the woman he picked up from the airport is also Sonia. They will eventually confront Dwayne, but for now he says he believes that the mysterious Harold may have something to do with their missing persons case.
What if there's a different person that goes missing every year that is related to that? Because that's up. That's up. And then there was a big thing, and then the phone call got money, and then this, that, and the other. when we start connecting the dots like me and her did, what if this is some kind of underground thing where they get unsuspecting people, especially like Calvin told me she go anyway.
Calvin is the investigator Dwayne spoke to prior to this interview.
What if she signed up for something and they predator these young women or men and then just they vanish?
Yeah, that's interesting. So
I mean, I've heard the worst. I mean, especially since he name dropped that. He name dropped that. It's really weird that he would name drop like this and then make me sign an NDA. But he name dropped that he was storing vehicles for Travolta, Terry Bollea, the Hulk Hogan family.
Oh, okay.
And Tom Cruise.
Okay.
What if some kind of
my goodness, no fucking way
behind the scenes and going and working on the cars is just a cover story
to get you involved?
Yeah, what am I going to do? I'm nobody.
After allowing Dwayne to fully explain his suspicions, the investigators decide to reveal their own evidence, including something they know about Sonia. They still don't tell Dwayne her name.
I've been speaking with people who know her and know things about her, and we know that she was communicating with people over here and had the intention of coming over here to end her life, and we know that that was what this trip was about.
This is the reason that the authorities in the UK were so concerned when Sonia never boarded her return flight home. Court documents indicate that a year earlier, in 2024, Sonia had been planning to travel to the U.S. to meet with individuals she met online in order to fulfill her wishes. That attempt was thwarted, and she received treatment. Investigators also have another bombshell to drop. The transactions may have been what led them to Dwayne, but they aren't the only reason they want to speak with him today.
We also know that you were one of the people that were communicating with her.
What was her screen name?
What does that matter?
I communicate with a lot of people.
Okay. Do you communicate with a lot of people about ideations?
We have a lot of, I used to communicate with a lot of people that it was, and there was a lot of fantasy role play that happened there. But if you tell me your screen name, maybe I'll have a better idea what you're talking about.
Dwayne claims he hasn't had access to his account in months because he was banned for violating the terms of service.
So what kind of stuff did you like to talk about?
Hard bondage.
Okay.
I like hard bondage.
Okay. You think that's what got you
That's not what got me banned.
There's no way you got banned from.
It seems like somebody took offense to something I might have said, like on a comment or something like that. You can comment on pictures or posts or have a conversation in live feeds or whatever. Not live feeds, but comment feeds or whatever. I think something there might have got me banned because there's certain words that you're not allowed to use, and that list seems to be ever growing by the month. But like I said, I haven't been on there for a long time.
What are the words?
Basically anything violent. Okay. Anything violent or aggressive, too aggressive.
Like snuff type stuff?
Between snuff type stuff and other assorted violent stuff like that. I may occasionally have the violent ideations or whatever, but at the same time, it's better left on paper.
So the reason why I'm having this discussion with you is that our missing person was also involved in those types of fantasies and violent ideations.
Well, that somehow doesn't surprise me.
Right?
Especially if you're telling me that I actually had communication and she was actually communicating with me at one point or another. I'm sure we had some right nasty discussions.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to play. I'm sure we had some right nasty discussions.
Yeah. And between consenting adults is absolutely okay, right?
Yeah, I mean, if like I said, there's a line. But yeah, to a point.
Yeah. So if she came over here with the intention of fulfilling some of those fantasies, bondage, violent fantasies. I'm not saying necessarily, but definitely violent fantasies. And then at the end of it, she wants to end her life.
If you're trying to put me in line with something like that, I'm going to tell you right now, it's been all about my wife since she damn near died. Mm-hmm. I have no interest in anything to do with anything like that with another woman. I barely even have interest in tying my wife up at this point because she's been through so much.
Once again, the investigators know something they have been withholding until this moment.
But we know that she was with you, and we know that she came over here to carry out this bondage, these sexual fantasies, and ultimately to take her own life. We know all of these things.
The FDLE agent discloses that they have evidence that shows Sonia stayed at the Airbnb with Dwayne. With this revelation, Dwayne abruptly adjusts his version of events, now admitting she was with him on Friday and Saturday. However, he still doesn't refer to her by her name.
What do you want to know?
Changing his tone.
Things, a lot of different things. So we already talked about that to a lot of different
people. So we had a little bit of light choking or whatever, you know.
Okay.
Just a regular kind of firm grip kind of every once in a while, but
light bondage.
Very, very light. Didn't even involve any ropes or anything like that.
Okay. So just the hands. Okay. Anything else?
What do you mean?
So you said light choking. So, and I know this can.
Wait.
So, what does that mean to you?
It means I put my there.
Okay. What part of her?
Yes.
Every part?
Yes. She wanted it.
How'd she let you know that she wanted it? Because there's lots of ways that happens.
Give me that.
Did she grab you?
Yep.
With her hand?
Yep.
And
then her face.
And then her face? What does that mean?
Like the whole thing.
In her interview, Ginger explains that she was aware Dwayne was talking to other women.
I knew he had other girls, quote-unquote girlfriends, that he talked to online, but it was never, like, because I was so disabled, I told him I was fine with it as long as he didn't lie to me about it. And so I knew that there were a couple that he was talking to like that, but there was never supposed to be anything physical. They were never supposed to meet in person. It was supposed to stay online.
According to official documents, Sonia left evidence on her computer indicating that she had made a plan and was carrying it out by traveling to the U.S. The investigators now discuss this plan with Dwayne.
So she talked about dying, having somebody maybe help her. What were those conversations like? How did she say she wanted to die?
We didn't talk about that. It became very apparent to deal with anything like that. Barely wanted to deal with her presence.
What did you guys talk about? Because, again, everyone has the ability to change their mind, but there were conversations about it, even if it was in person.
Yeah, there was conversations about it.
So tell me about those conversations.
She said she'd tried many times, and she'd failed. And she said that that's a really beautiful state, and she couldn't think of a better place to end it all.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the extent of it. There was no real elaboration one way or another, except for the fact that it became very obvious that I was not about this life. I didn't want it. I didn't want the mess. I didn't want the scrutiny. I didn't want to be involved in any way, shape, or form at that point. I didn't even want to have sex.
Anything that you did with her that you recorded?
I deleted it.
Okay, tell me more about that.
I asked her. I told her that I wanted her to tell me what it was that she was there for.
Okay.
And I wanted her to go into detail, and she basically just kind of locked up on everything. And I ended up deleting it because it was of absolutely no use to me.
Despite deleting it, during a later search of Dwayne's phone, investigators located the disturbing video he recorded on October 11th.
I want you to tell me about why you're here.
Because I got an awful person and I need to die.
Yeah, but why are you such an awful person?
I've crushed everyone who ever loves me. I've cheated on my partner. God, the amount of lie to everyone about this is overwhelming. led on so many men because I didn't know how to just, well, it was more just that I didn't have the guts to say no because I knew they probably wouldn't like me, or I don't know. People just always seemed overly nice. I was always an oddball.
You know, in case something like this happened, I could just be here. Yeah, you know.
But she didn't respond to you when you asked her.
She was not responsive very much. And I don't know what the problem was in that regard. I think she was just disappointed because I didn't want her.
In official documents, investigators noted that Sonia appeared subdued in the video, rarely looks up towards the camera where Dwayne would be positioned, becomes visibly upset with tears in her eyes, exhales deeply, swallows hard, and is very hesitant to answer Dwayne's questions. The video would reveal much more, but for now, the FDLE agent confronts Dwayne with a chilling revelation.
What is going on?
Know that she is not alive anymore. I know that. You know that. And I want to find her.
No, I don't know that.
I think you do.
I don't know that. I suspect that. I strongly suspect that.
That video, you took it to protect yourself, but you didn't really need to take that video to protect yourself because I know she asked you to do it. Does that make sense?
It does, but at the end of the day, I still don't know where it ended up. I still don't know what happened to her.
Though Dwayne is adamant, the investigators have uncovered disquieting evidence. According to court documents, an hour prior to picking Sonia up at the airport, Dwayne bought paracord, gun cleaner, 50 feet of rope, and a shovel.
It does not make any sense that right before you picked her up, you bought rope and a shovel and
that doesn't make any sense.
Help me make sense of that. Like, why would you buy a shovel?
It was actually a thing that I was already there. I was actually planning on doing it anyway, and the timing was just really retarded on my behalf because if I would have actually thought about it, I would have realized how bad of a stupid maneuver that was. And I actually absolutely did not think.
Why am I sitting here talking to you?
Because you want to find a missing person.
She has a name. What's her name?
You want to find Sonia.
I want to find Sonia.
This is the first time that Dwayne has confirmed that the woman he spent the weekend with was Sonia Exelby. Whether it's this acknowledgement or the other evidence, it seems that Dwayne has hit a breaking point.
So if I'm to follow along what everybody's saying here, I think that I can't afford a lawyer, but I think I'm going to need one at this point.
Okay.
Now, I have to be able to protect myself to some degree. And, you know, once I have a lawyer present, I think we can, and I confer with them, I think we can continue this.
Okay.
Following his request for a lawyer, Dwayne is left alone. However, he soon requests to go to the bathroom.
You want to use the bathroom, right?
Please.
So you are detained at the moment, based on everything we talked about, and we got some stuff we're following up on. So we're going to handcuff you in the front, and we're going to walk you to the bathroom.
After this small reprieve, they leave him to stew in the interview room, eventually checking if he'd like something to eat.
I need more than I need food. Mm-hmm. I need an update about my wife.
Okay.
We were on our way to take her to a bronchoscopy this morning when they stopped me. And then I was told she was admitted and...
Oh, so she's at a hospital.
Please.
Okay. See, I don't know anything. Okay.
I know.
Okay. I'll see what I can find out, okay? I'll go grab you like a Whopper, no pickles and fries, and I will get an update on, see if I can get an update. I can't promise you anything,
I know.
Okay?
Please.
I'll see what I can find out, okay?
Thank you.
Despite his concern about his wife, Ginger was dropped off at the hospital for her appointment without issue. Following the delivery of his food, Dwayne appears to realize the severity of his situation.
You know, last time I tasted something. What does it feel like? My last meal.
Whether it was the hot meal or the hours on his own.
What does it feel like? My last meal.
Whether it was the hot meal or the hours on his own, Dwayne has made a decision.
I want to speak to Miller.
You want me to call him and have him come in here?
I want to speak to Miller.
Okay, yeah. Hey, Dwayne.
Hey.
Did you need us for something?
Yes.
What's
If you've got a minute, I'd like to talk to you. Well,
okay.
More you than you, I think.
Okay. Well,
What would you like to talk about?
I want to recant basically my entire statement.
You want to recant your entire statement?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't stand being a liar. I can't stand it.
Dwayne states that the entire story about receiving a call for service from a woman whose car broke down and the elaborate tale about Harold was not true, and that Harold does not exist. He claims this was all a cover story he devised with Sonia. He decides to retell his story, starting with him meeting Sonia online.
And her and I started talking and whatnot, and she was telling me about all of her stuff and things like that. So I started kind of mentoring her, and this was probably about 2 years ago. And I wanted to make her life better. I didn't want her. It got to a certain point this past year, sometime in the past year, where she actually offered me to help me with, I owe the IRS a lot of money. And she offered to help me with that. She offered to help me with that, and I said yes. And from there, I started mentoring her a little bit further, and she seemed to be getting better.
Dwayne tells them that he owes almost $10,000 to the IRS. Yet Ginger explains that their finances had not been an issue.
Yeah, it was really nice. We were even able to afford, we moved into the suburbs out of the ghetto for the first time in my life.
However, in a video Dwayne posted to his YouTube channel, he discussed the concept of debt.
We are struggling, being crushed under interest rates and debt that we can't afford to pay.
She was supposed to bring cash. She wasn't supposed to bring cards. She was supposed to bring cash.
Okay.
Because it's traceable.
They'll return to this subject, but for now, Dwayne then details what he calls mentoring Sonia.
I want you to work on this. I want you to do that, is what I was telling her.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept instructing her to have really good with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seemed like when I do that, she'd get a little better every time. She'd feel a little better. And then, of course, her husband was obviously appreciative of the attention. You know what I mean?
However, this didn't last.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. It worked, but it didn't work.
Just temporarily.
It was a Band-Aid. And then we met, after a period of time.
Do you want to talk about what happened Saturday and Sunday?
I can't really talk too much about that, but you can ask questions, and if I feel comfortable answering them, I will.
Is it because of this promise that you made to Sonia?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Explain to me how did Sonia ask you to make this promise? What did she ask you?
She did not want to be found. She did not want to be returned home. She wanted to be gone. Gone.
Okay.
So you feel like you would be breaking that promise if you told us where she was?
I can't confirm nor deny that, but I can't break my promise about anything regarding that. I can't tell you where she went, and I can't tell you anything about it.
Since he refuses to discuss what happened to Sonia, the investigators instead focus on what occurred during their time together.
So you said that you had some light bondage. Can you tell me about that? Because sometimes bondage, there can be injuries.
There's probably a few bruises.
Okay.
At her insistence.
There's a reason the investigators are clarifying this detail.
What's this on your face?
You've beaten me.
Is that what you wanted? Is that what you asked for?
I guess literally speaking.
The rest of this disturbing video may hold the key to revealing what ultimately happened to Sonia.
So smacking on
Front and back.
Okay, smacking on the face?
She had me smack her face a couple of times.
Okay.
Around the same time that Dwayne recorded the video of Sonia, she attempted to reach out to an online friend through Discord. According to court documents, the message was long and at times disjointed, but Sonia wrote that the person she was with made her record 3 disclaimer videos and write a letter to her family because he thought it was funny.
She definitely made it very clear that she wanted really rough, aggressive.
Okay.
Sonia's message goes on to say, "I'm sorry he keeps taking my phone. He doesn't trust me with it." She writes that last night was so bad and he's in the shower but I'm locked in and there's no signal in the middle of nowhere. I thought he'd do it quick and not give my mind time to stew. Her message ends with her saying, "I'm so scared. I'm so broken and in so much pain. All I can do is lay here, and doing what he wants makes him respect me enough not to do the things I really hate. I'm trying to be quick, and my time's up." Chillingly, during this same time, Dwayne was also in contact with his wife and even called her on the evening of the 10th around 9 p.m.
He called me to say goodnight for like 5 minutes.
Though Ginger doesn't reveal anything else about this conversation, the message Sonia sent also came up in Ginger's interview.
Oh, and they're talking about her sending some message or something somewhere saying she'd changed her mind, going back and forth, the yo-yo, back and forth and back and forth. Because fear is going to kick in. We are wired to survive. The fear is going to kick in and you're automatically, it's exactly why you can't just hold your breath until you die.
Sonia's Discord message also indicated that the person she was with wouldn't let her leave, and they always had a gun on them.
Did she ever do anything during the time that you spent with her where it seemed like maybe she had changed her mind?
No. Actually, she got really upset with me because I quit. I was not into it whatsoever, and I quit. And I didn't want to sleep with her. I didn't want to play bondage games with her or anything. I just wanted to be done.
Dwayne then finally explains the truth behind the transactions, which led the investigators to him in the first place.
She still wanted to help me out financially, so she had me run the one card over and over and over again because she swore up and down that there was money on there. That's not a lie. She swore up and down that there was money on there, and then when we got down so low, she's like, "I'll do something. I don't know why there's nothing on there." And then we ran the other card, and she was extremely short of what she promised. All because I wanted to try to get out from the thumb the IRS, just to get that way too.
How much was she going to give you for the IRS?
About $4,000.
And she only ended up having the $1,200?
Yep.
And how did that, I mean, it seems to be pretty... Like, that's pretty impactful for you. You're expecting something that may cut your IRS debt almost in half.
Yep.
And then she doesn't have it.
It even further deteriorated the mood. As far as I know, as far as I understand, I think everything else has to be within her control. Okay.
I hear them. Thank you for calling us back and clearing the air.
With his new story established, Dwayne is once again left alone. However, the investigators return once again, this time with news for Dwayne.
All right, Dwayne. So, I want to let you know that I am arresting you for the credit card fraud, right? For charging that money and lying about charging that money.
I don't really understand what's going on right now.
You're being placed under arrest for credit card fraud for using Sonia's cards. Okay?
Okay. I'm a little confused about literally everything else, though. I feel like that, I don't know. I feel weird about the whole thing. It's a few things.
I know it's a lot. That's why I said process, think about it. You can call me.
Some things ain't adding up there. You're charging me for credit card fraud?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
More charges coming, right?
I don't know. I can just tell you, like, right now, you're getting charged with credit card fraud.
Okay.
Do you expect more charges coming? Or did you expect something different?
Yeah, but we're not going to go there.
I mean, is there something you want me to charge you with?
You impounded me. You impounded my vehicle. I have no idea what's going on with that. If I'm even going to get that back. My wife is, for all I know, stranded somewhere. Okay. I mean, credit card fraud.
Okay.
I mean, if you want something else, let me know. What do you want me to charge you with?
Charge me with go home.
Despite this request, Dwayne is not allowed to go home. Though his charges would eventually be adjusted, for now he's arrested on charges of the fraudulent use of credit cards and unlawful use of 2 transmission devices and taken to jail. Though the investigators have claimed that they believe Sonia is no longer alive, they are still actively looking for her. This search brought them to Dwayne's home, where his family is less than pleased to see a police presence at their door.
Shame on you.
Shame on me for what?
Well, you were supposed to get back to me. And
I've been very busy.
I can imagine, but it's still.
And here's the deal. I'm
I'm
not working a missing persons investigation. I'm now working a death investigation.
Oh my God.
Okay, so yes, I've been very busy.
Okay, I understand, but
I'm
still.
sorry. I'm sorry. I understand that, but I'm here now. Okay, I'm here now.
Though they don't find anything of note at the residence, based on Dwayne's phone records, the Marion County Sheriff's Office conducts a search of the area where Dwayne had described hiding from the car that had been following him. There, they locate an area of disturbed soil and the remains of a woman. All she has on is a black bra and tan sandals with a white floral dress, matching the description of Sonia's dress, lying on top of the body. Fingerprint comparison confirmed the remains belonged to Sonia Exelby. During the exhumation, a label for a shovel matching the one purchased by Dwayne was located in the grave. The shovel was recovered from Dwayne's garage and when tested gave chemical indications for the presence of blood. The major DNA profile matched Sonia. Following Dwayne's arrest, investigators were contacted about his case, but not by Dwayne. Another inmate came forward after he had a series of conversations with Dwayne. He describes what he told him about his case.
He was in a business, but not necessarily a business, but he was in a business of like people who didn't want to live anymore. He would help them kind of like assist.
A similar discussion came up in Ginger's interview.
Because back when I was sick, before my transplant, I got really, really bad for a little while. And we talked about it helping me end it because I didn't want to wind up a vegetable. It occurred to me just the other day, actually, that when Sonia started talking to him and started breaking down and crying and saying she can't handle it, she can't do it, she can't do it, I'm wondering if he saw me hooked up to all those monitors and all those machines just barely staying alive and miserable and in pain. And I'm wondering if maybe he just couldn't watch that happen again to someone he cared about and he caved to helping her end it.
And this is how you wanted to die, right? You wanted to be beaten and made to suffer because you're such a piece of... Say it.
I needed to be beaten and suffer because I'm such a piece of...
I'm legit flabbergasted with this. I was just allowed on YouTube, dude.
You're not being forced to say that, right? So are you getting what you wanted? Are you pleased? Are you happy?
I think it took her 2 years to talk him into helping her leave this world.
In his interview, the inmate says that Dwayne did not seem concerned about his case and discloses that Dwayne told him he had a contingency plan.
It's like backup just in case he may have to get rid of something or like do something in case the case starts closing up around his neck.
Knowing that Dwayne had potentially set up a contingency plan, investigators took a look at his Facebook messages. There they can see that he sent his friend a photo that was later deleted with the message, "We'll need this back in 6 months if this storm passes over with no lingering fallout. Please, for the love of shadows, don't lose this box. These are very precious and valuable personal items." While serving a search warrant on the friend's home, Dwayne's friend revealed to investigators that he'd received a package from Dwayne containing an engraved knife and sheath that he'd purchased for him, and a bracelet. He then sewed the knife, sheath, and bracelet into a small black fabric bag. The blade of the 7-inch knife was engraved with the words, "Dork Wharf, pointy end goes in the other guy." The friend explained that the engraving was him making fun of Dwayne's use of the Dark Wolf name online. In his interview, the inmate tells investigators that he asked Dwayne about Sonia's death.
How did she die? How he said it,
about Sonia's death.
How did she die? How he said it, word it made me believe it was a knife. Okay. Because he was like, to be honest with you, it wasn't like the easiest. Okay. I'm assuming that it's a knife.
And how did you want to die? What was your chosen way to die? Kind of describe that. What have you been consenting to here today?
You mean the way that you're talking about killing me?
You consent to what kind of treatment beforehand that you feel like you deserved?
To be stabbed.
Yeah, that's what you want, but the last day or two, what has your treatment been? What did you ask for leading up to that?
I can't remember. We've talked about so many different ways.
A color-changing test was conducted on the knife recovered from Dwayne's friend. It returned chemical indications for the presence of blood. The DNA profile matched the profile from Sonia.
He was like, it wasn't easy. You know, it wasn't like just one and done.
An autopsy determined that Sonia's cause of death was 4 sharp force injuries likely caused by a knife. When her body was first exhumed, investigators noted that she had 4 stab wounds on her left side and a curved placement between her back and under her breast. The manner of death was determined to be homicide.
Now you're being coerced? Are you being forced into this?
But he did tell me he was sorry, and he doesn't, I don't think he regrets it, because it's hard to watch somebody go through pain like that and to be too scared to go yourself. I can understand it. I believe it was honorable.
And he was like, no, I don't feel like I've done anything wrong. This was this woman's wishes.
He's not really the monster that everybody is thinking he is. I think he really actually cared about Sonia and didn't want to see her suffer anymore.
As he suspected, more charges were indeed coming. Dwayne Hall has now been indicted for murder in the first degree and kidnapping. He has entered a plea of not guilty, and the case remains ongoing.
Man, that's crazy, bro. They finna let him off the hook. What the freak?
Oh, here, have a seat right here. Have a seat.
Oh. That freaking welcome, bro. Hello?
Oh, here, have a seat right here. Have a seat right here. Got a Spanish-speaking male, lacerations through the throat, and looks like he was punched in the face. That probably head injuries.
Just 8 hours ago, 25-year-old Saul Lopez was having dinner at this house on Oak Forest Drive. He's there with a woman he recently met online. To him, it's just a casual Saturday, but he has no idea that within minutes, he'll be fighting for his last breath. He's inside a silver Honda Odyssey with a woman who goes by Crazy and an unknown male. It's calm until it isn't. Suddenly, the vibe shifts. Repeatedly beaten and stabbed, Saul is left disoriented, but the couple isn't finished. They drive him to a bridge, beat him some more, and toss him 50 feet into the Escambia River. Believing they had committed the perfect crime, the two assailants move on to their next victim. However, there was one small detail they didn't account for. Saul Lopez refused to die.
Damn. Y'all ready for that one? Honey trap. I like how they got a freaking name for it, like a chapter residue.
October 8th, 2023, Pensacola, Florida.
Like
at a Cumberland Farms near Scenic Highway, an Escambia County Sheriff's deputy starts his shift with a cup of coffee. He looks out toward the intersection and sees a man stumbling across the roadway. The man is barefoot, soaked in blood. His face is bruised, swollen, and barely recognizable.
What's that?
No pick España.
You okay?
No pick España.
Oh, here, have.
The man is barefoot. Looks out toward me. An Escambia County Sheriff's deputy starts his shift with a cup of coffee. He looks out toward the intersection and sees a man stumbling across the roadway. The man is barefoot, soaked in blood. His face is bruised, swollen, and barely recognizable.
What's that?
No pick España.
You okay?
No pick España.
Oh, here, have a seat right here. Have a seat right here. Car Frank 13. What happened?
Amigo.
Can I get EMS 51 to me at the Tom Thumb at Scenic Highway and 9 Mile Road? How old are you? ¿Cuántos años? How old? You.
When the deputy made contact, it was clear communication would be challenging. Aside from the language barrier, Saul had lost a significant amount of blood and was severely dehydrated. His jaw was badly bruised and his face so swollen that forming words was painful. Disoriented and confused, this was someone whose body was actively shutting down while his mind was still fighting to survive.
I'm gonna have to get
He was touched with a deadly weapon. Yep. So that's an aggravating battery.
I'm gonna have to get Ramirez here.
Okay.
Amigo.
Hey.
He was sitting down for a while. He's standing up.
Necesito llegar a casa.
¿Qué ha ocurrido?
Car 393.
¿Qué ha ocurrido?
Are you knocking on the door?
Sí, unos amigos me montaron en un carro anoche. Unos. Y me trajeron y me quisieron matar. Y me robaron zapatos y el teléfono y el carro.
Some friends rode me a car last night, put makeup and killed me, stole my shoes and phone in the car. So we got carjacked.
So take a screenshot of that.
¿Dónde sucedió?
Sí, me trajeron de aquí de Pensacola, Florida, aquí cerquita. Me montaron en el carro y lo único que me dijeron fue, amigo, hasta este día vas a hacer que vas a vivir, y vinieron a tirar desde arriba el puente, caía al lago abajo y ahorita una muchacha que andaba en una lancha me dieron a salir.
Damn.
Car 393, 10-4 check.
Yes or no question might help.
10-4.
¿Conoces los nombres?
No los conozco, pero a ellos sí los conozco.
I don't know them for them, and I know them. Try to ask you just yes or no questions. Were you thrown off a bridge?
Yeah.
¿Dónde te tiraste de un puente?
No, me tiraron desde el puente arriba, me traían en el carro mi camioneta, me bajaron y me pusieron el cuchillo aquí en la nuca y luego me tiraron del puente y caí al agua abajo.
Car 27. 27, go ahead. Se acerca la ambulancia.
So, he's got lacerations to his throat. He's not bleeding right now. His ears, the back of his head. He may have some broken ribs, his face.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Guy come walking from across the street right here. He's got probably 4, 5 lacerations, deep lacerations to his throat. His face is all bruised and broke up. He doesn't speak any English at all.
Okay. Head up there before his airway starts to crack. He's cut pretty deep right there.
Okay. Sacred. Yeah.
Sacred.
Saul was rushed to a nearby hospital as a trauma alert. Upon arrival, he was taken straight into emergency surgery. Because of the severity of his injuries and the language barrier, detectives couldn't interview him right away. Police records show that Saul could not identify his attackers by their real names, so they only knew the basics: assaulted by 2 people, thrown from a bridge, and vehicle had been stolen. But even with just those facts, one thing was clear: this was extreme violence. Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons said he believed the assault was not random. He described it as cold, calculated, and called Saul's survival miraculous.
It appears as if they knew what they were going to do. In fact, I think they tell him what they were going to do, so much so that they take not only his money, they take his cell phone, then ultimately they take his shoes. So it seems like they took everything that they could, including trying to take his life, which ended up being an attempted murder, a cold and calculated attempted murder.
Deputies immediately began searching for Saul's stolen Honda Odyssey. They didn't have to look far. A VIN check revealed the van had been found burned earlier that same morning, roughly 20 miles south of where Saul flagged down the deputy. That detail told investigators something important. This wasn't just about hurting Saul, it was about erasing him. The next day, Detective Martinez finally interviewed Saul at the hospital. That's when the story started to come into focus. Saul explained that about a week earlier he had received a Facebook friend request from an unknown woman, later identified as Natalie Fonseca. Online, she referred to herself as Crazy Fonseca. From Saul's perspective, nothing about this felt strange. He accepted the request and they started messaging. It seemed normal to him. Detective Martinez later broke it down for the court.
Go ahead and take a seat.
Hi, how are you, Aaron?
You may.
Good afternoon. Please state your name and spell your last name for the record.
Lionel Martinez Jr., M-A-R-T-I-N-E-Z.
Mr. Martinez, where are you employed?
With the Escambia County Sheriff's Office.
In what capacity?
I am an investigator of major crimes.
And back in October 2023, did you get involved in cases involving a Mathis Reynolds and a Natalie Fonseca?
Yes, I did.
Can you please explain to the court how you became involved in the investigation and what you did as a part of the investigation?
Yes. I got assigned the case on October 9th. Being the only Spanish-speaking investigator of major crimes, I reviewed the reports from the initial deputy and also the deputy who spoke the victim at the hospital. I wanted to get firsthand perspective from the victim. So I went up to Sacred Heart. He was still in the hospital. Spoke to him there. Got some more details. He told me that he had met a female who had sent him a friend request on Facebook on October the 6th. That female reached out to him saying that she was hungry and wanted some food, asked for a pizza or some McDonald's. And he said, instead of that, can I get you some tacos? And she agreed to get some tacos. He met with her, did the tacos, took her to her house. I'm
sorry. She suggested Taco Bell or McDonald's, or she suggested McDonald's or something like that, and he goes straight for tacos. Like, I ain't even trying to be racist. He put himself in that position, dude.
The following day, October 7th, Natalie contacted him again and asked to see him. Saul said he was at work, but agreed to stop by later that evening after cashing his paycheck. When he arrived at her house, Natalie said she needed to pick up her cat from an unknown location. Saul offered to drive, but she insisted on driving herself, telling him he didn't know where they were going. It seemed like a simple request, but it was actually a compliance test. When Natalie insisted on driving, she was taking control of the environment. Saul thought he was just being a gentleman, but to a predator, he was signaling that he wouldn't offer any resistance. They made the trip and returned to the house without incident. Natalie went inside with the cat while Saul waited in the van. Minutes later, she emerged, but this time she wasn't alone. Next to her was a man later identified as 31-year-old Nafis Reynolds. They both climbed in, and at some point, Nafis produced a firearm. Saul said he didn't think much of it at first, but that would soon change. Natalie, again in the driver's seat, told him they were going to a cookout at her uncle's house, so they drove together.
Once they were there, they had some drinks, they had some hamburgers. The victim wanted to leave, and they said, okay. So they went back. At that time, he told him again, the blackmail began him with the pistol in his hands. Told him again, the blackmail began him with the pistol in his hands. Based on my investigation, I'll get to this. From there, they drove him, the female going, the spokesman told him that this was a night that he was going to die. That they were going to drive him somewhere, take everything from him, and leave him there. So he said they drove for a while, and they came to a bridge, they got him out, male and female, began to beat him some more, and then he felt a knife on his throat, and they slashed his throat from one ear to the other. After doing that, they picked him up, threw him over the bridge. He fell in the water.
Saul explained that after he hit the water, he felt a stinging sensation along his neck from the wounds, but was desperate to stay afloat. He swam to a small patch of land and waited in the darkness, exhausted and bleeding. At first light, he managed to flag down a passing boat. They brought him to shore, and from there, Saul summoned the last of his strength to walk for help. Eventually, he reached a convenience store near Scenic Highway, where a sheriff's deputy happened to be grabbing coffee before his shift. That coincidence saved Saul's life. Detective Martinez testified that he later spoke with Saul again and asked whether he could identify the house where the woman lived.
I was able to talk to him and ask him for some details if he knew how to get to this house with this female. He was able to utilize Google Earth, and from the store where he had seen her drive to the neighborhood, which ended up, after leaving the hospital, with his directions, I was able to come across the address, which is Forest Drive. I returned back to the office and looked to see if there was any calls for service at that address. There was a call service in September the 4th, the same year. There was an armed disturbance. There was two suspect victims that stabbed each other. The victim in this case was Mr. Reynolds, and the suspect was his brother, Mr. Coles. The witness was Natalie Fonseca. I was able to take screenshots of the body cam footage from the deputies that responded to that scene. And based on the description that was given by the victim at the hospital, I was able to see that Mr. Reynolds and Natalie Fonseca were my suspects. Followed up to try to get some video from the store. Was able to obtain video from October the 6th, where the victim and Mrs. Fonseca went to the store to buy the drinks after he had bought her the tacos. I also was able to obtain the video from October the 7th, where Ms. Fonseca was driving the van. There was a male passenger in the van, but from the video you can see, based on what the victim had told me he was wearing that night, a white shirt, and you can see because it's...
By chance, while Detective Martinez and his partner were reviewing surveillance video, Natalie Fonseca and Nafis Reynolds walked into the same store. Investigators waited for them to leave and followed them. Knowing there were 2 entrances to the subdivision, Detective Martinez positioned himself and recorded both as they entered a house on Oak Forest Drive. That surveillance gave them the probable cause they needed. A judge signed warrants for the carjacking and robbery of Saul Lopez, and on October 23rd, both were detained. But the case got darker during the interview. When Detective Martinez pressed Natalie, she accidentally revealed that this wasn't a one-time event.
While interviewing Ms. Fonseca, I asked her, this is about the Mexican food, from the store. And she started to tell me about the details about picking him up at the Circle K, taking him to the house, parking. She went in the house, and by the time she came out, everything had already happened, and he was gone. And I was a little confused, but I was like, that's not, Mexican at the store I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one that had his throat cut. And then she just sat back in her chair and was like, oh. I said, because he didn't die.
So at that point, investigator, was it clear to you that Ms. Fonseca was actually talking about a separate victim?
Yes, sir.
Detective Martinez realized.
Yes, sir.
Was it clear to you that Ms. Fonseca was actually talking about a separate victim?
Yes, sir.
Detective Martinez realized she was confusing Saul with another victim. Just 9 days after leaving Saul for dead, Natalie and Nafis ran the same play again, luring a second Spanish-speaking man to that Oak Forest house and robbing him at gunpoint. Ultimately, it was the warrant for Saul's case that finally put them in handcuffs. But prosecutors still had one major concern. The defense could argue that Saul's initial identification of the suspects happened in a hospital bed while he was traumatized and medicated, therefore it could be unreliable. So, in December, weeks after the suspects were locked up, detectives brought Saul back in. They needed him to look at a photo lineup and to put a face to the nightmare once and for all.
Sí. Quizá. ¿Qué tan seguro?
Sí.
100%?
Sí.
¿Seguro? Firma. Okay.
Saul didn't hesitate. He easily picked out Natalie Fonseca, the woman who lured him, the woman he referred to as a friend. But he wasn't done. He still had to identify the man holding the gun, who was considered the primary enforcer.
¿Qué estás seguro?
Sí.
100%?
Seguro.
Misma cosa.
I'm glad they got those sons of bitches.
Very good. ¿Vamos a entrar?
I'm gonna initial here.
Okay.
And hand it to you on the
All right, thank you.
Oh,
when I
what?
work-
Next one, bro, because I'm tired as freak, bro. I've been doing this for a minute. I'm gonna start.